here tonight, a familiar 5 for Kansas, featuring the 3 freshmen. Selden along with Higgins and Embiid, Ellison, Tharp by the veterans, Spalding, Foster, Southwell, and Awondu along with Gipson. Thomas Gipson, a slim down one. And the bigs for K-State, Fran, are going to have to play big in this game here tonight because they were dominated by Embiid in that first game.
And stay out of foul trouble, Brent.
The Jayhawks with the opening tap, first possession. Tharp will run the offense. Here's Selden, one of the freshmen. Doubled. Doesn't get the bounce. Battle for the rebound. Goes over the Wildcats. Spradling topples out of bounds. So for a few seconds, it's going to be 4-on-5. And Spradling now back to the attack.
Little surprised that they didn't go inside early in that first Kansas possession, Brent.
Underneath Gipson. And that's exactly what we said. The bigs have got to stand tall tonight.
My first reaction at the tip, Brent, is, boy, Kansas is young.
Embiid backing down, and he ties it.
Good patience by the freshman from Cameroon. Took his time. And Gipson, on the other hand, undersized, does not want to get in early foul trouble.
Higgins chasing Foster. There he is, popping out on him. Southwell, Higgins switches. Pull up by Foster, misses his first shot. Embiid defensive rebound. Long pass over the top. Ellis.
You don't see Perry Ellis lose his balance that often. Usually very good in there.
Sort of a wild shot that time by Awondu. He had a good look at it too. And the first foul goes against Kansas State, and it's against Spradling.
When you play in a game like this, both teams have got to keep their composure in the first 4 minutes. Wouldn't be surprised, Brent, if both coaches go to their benches early. Adrenaline causes fatigue.
Jayhawks first lead. Move against the free throw. Here's Awondu. And now Foster.
Kansas will do a lot of switching on the perimeter on those ball screens.
Gipson outside. And he's hit both of the Kansas State field goals so far.
Well, you don't see the big guy do that too often. Drift away from the paint.
Errant pass, but there was a hooking foul. And that goes against Shane Southwell, his first.
Kansas, Brent, has been running this 2-game offense since Bill Self has arrived. It works. It doesn't matter who is in those low post positions.
We remember Cole Aldridge, Fran, and all the other big guys. Thomas Robinson that he's had.
Yep.
Tharp fires the 3. Selden went to save it with a good play underneath the basket. But it'll go over to the Wildcats. For a moment, I thought he was going to get away with that.
And we've chronicled Wayne Selden provides real toughness to that Kansas team. This is a young team out there.
Nino Williams has checked in early. They turn it over. Jayhawks come back, and Ellis. Ellis bumped on the inside, loose ball, and the foul goes against K-State again. And that one is against Awondu.
Perry Ellis has got terrific footwork in the paint now. Watch him repost. Good position. Here comes the double. Good spin.
Ellis on the free throw line. And already there are 3 team fouls against the Wildcats and none against the Jayhawks. So the crowd a little bit uneasy, and Bruce Weber is barking at the officials. John Higgins working with Doug Sirmons and Terry Oglesby, and Bruce is reminding them of how one-sided the whistles have been so far. Outside, and it didn't take Williams long to contribute coming off Weber's bench.
This young man was a former Mr. Basketball in the state of Kansas. Same high school that produced Wayne Simeon Leavenworth.
Back to Ellis. Now Selden up over the top. Defensive rebound. It was Foster. He's been quiet. Wiggins is keeping him silent so far here in the early going. So Wundu takes the long shot. Did not get the shooter's bounce. Embiid, another defensive rebound.
What Kansas State does well is they pressure the passes into the post. Try to make it difficult from the perimeter in.
They force Embiid back out.
See those high hands, Brent.
Wiggins' pull-up is not there, but Embiid underneath loses control. Wildcat basketball. Here's Gipson. Remember, he's 2 of 2 tonight. Back on the corner, on the drive, Williams. Ellis for the driving layup.
Good look by Tharp, and Ellis just ran rim to rim.
Crowd wanted a foul on Selden.
Got the feeling the officials are going to get a little help tonight.
Gipson out for the high pick and roll, trying to free Foster. They get him free on Wiggins, and it didn't stay down. Offensive rebound, Nino Williams. Beautiful putback by Nino. One thing about Foster, when he got daylight, he didn't rush that shot.
Smooth rhythm, but I love Nino Williams' effort.
Back outside Ellis.
Well, that's not Perry Ellis's game. Kansas
puts it on the floor. Here they come with Nino again, Fran. He is very active.
Kansas has got to be patient in the half court and look inside.
Tharp. Embiid underneath. Spradling cleans it up. Spradling floats one over Embiid. Gipson using the big body. Wiggins can't get it to fall, and Selden coming strong commits another personal. This is the K-State effort tonight. When you watch Nino Williams' effort off the miss.
Important game for the Wildcats.
We welcome you back, and what a change this venue has produced. It's 10-6 Kansas State, but it's a Wildcat defense, folks, that's doing it. Jayhawks are only 2 of 11, and they shoot 50% in the first half. In that game in Lawrence, they shot better than 65%. And Coach Weber telling us we didn't guard anybody, but they're guarding tonight.
Well, exactly. Kansas is the 13th most efficient defensive team in the country, Brent. They give up .93 points per possession. What they do a great job of versus Kansas tonight early, pressuring any pass into the post, and they're double teaming quickly, forcing Kansas to shoot jump shots.
Now Selden, Tharp, and Wiggins each 0 for 2. Ellis and Embiid have the only Jayhawk field goals. Meanwhile, Gipson 2 of 2, Nino Williams 2 of 4. So Nigel Johnson checks in the point right now for the Wildcats. He's number 23. And also DJ Johnson. He's the big fella from St. Louis down there. You'll recognize him with the dreadlocks. They need some powerful minutes out of him tonight.
He's the guy you wanted to turn into a defensive end last year.
I still do.
Yeah. Pick and roll. Kansas will switch a lot on the perimeter, but that causes mismatches.
Spradling will gun the long ball. The three's good. Up by 7 in the early going.
You don't want to switch yourself into a mismatch. That time Ellis did not keep Nigel Johnson out of the paint.
Tariq Black on the floor with the high pick and roll with Tharp. Ellis pops out.
See the ball pressure.
Wiggins on the drive, and the foul goes against K-State.
This is something, Brent, that Andrew Wiggins has done a better job of. But watch this. They switch. Now Ellis has to guard the point guard. They've switched into a mismatch. Johnson to the paint. Opens up to drive and kick three.
Wiggins comes back to the free throw line for the second time tonight. Mason will check in at the point for Kansas. Frank Mason out of Petersburg, Virginia. And Selden will come out, so both guards will operate for Bill Self.
This free throw right here, Brent. Andrew Wiggins will become the freshman with the most free throw attempts in the history of the program with 144, breaking Darnell Valentine's mark. Pretty good player.
Indeed.
But it gives you an idea that he's been in more of an attack mode recently.
That foul incidentally was on Amari Lawrence, who has checked in for Kansas State. Southwell fades it up over Ellis, missing but Spradling. Good rebounding guard.
Yep, and right now Kansas State making the hustle plays.
Lawrence gives it back. Spradling's coming again. And there they are, Southwell. So they got their third attempt on this trip.
Exactly. Kansas flat-footed. Hard to throw it inside when the defender's hands are up.
Steal it away from Wiggins, and that was the young man Lawrence out of the Bronx. Good ball movement, rattles out though. Kansas State's had some scoring opportunities, and they haven't been able to put the ball through the net. Gives the Jayhawks time to regroup. Wiggins steps out off the iron. He can't find his shot from the field.
I don't think Bruce. Oh,
Great
nice
pass. And Gipson is on the free throw line. He'll shoot a pair. We're going to take a break. Now let's stay here. Let me check that. Here's this beautiful pass coming up here from the head of this foul.
Yeah, Shane Southwell, the senior from Harlem. He hooks up with the fellow New Yorker, Amari Lawrence. By the way, played for Norm Roberts at St. John's before transferring. The two New Yorkers hooking up. And the energy level, not just in the building, Brent, but in terms of the way Kansas State has come out, has been totally in their favor. Problem is you got Joel Embiid and Perry Ellis, Tariq Black waiting for him, but I do like the freshman's patience early.
So on the free throw line right now, and Kansas State has just shot its first free throw of the game. The Jayhawks have shot 6 free throws in this game. Amari Lawrence out of the Bronx. He received that great pass just moments ago. Off the miss, Embiid with another defensive rebound, and that is Embiid's 5th rebound of this game in the early going.
I want you to watch the ball pressure, Brent. It's made it hard to get the ball inside.
Green, number 14 on the floor for the Jayhawks. Mason on a drive inside and a finish, but there was a whistle, and charging is going to be the call. Mason.
I like the freshman's ability to get all the way to the lane. He just got himself caught, a little out of control.
So, Holly Rowe, we understand that Kansas is going to be without Traylor tonight.
Well, that's right. Bill Self told me at shoot-around today that he was not going to play Jamari Traylor tonight. I asked him why, and he said irresponsible behavior. Guys, this does mess up their rotations a little bit. Normally, he would have checked in the game before now. Plays about 15 minutes a game. They'll miss him in the rotation, but Tarek Black doing a nice job in his stead.
Yeah, he stepped in early, and he scores that field goal, Holly.
Yeah, Black's a guy that transferred from Memphis, got a lot of playing experience, and really starting to play well lately, Brent. Foul trouble early in the year held his minutes back.
Johnson guns the 3 off to the left. And after that great start now, Kansas State doesn't want to let this get away from him. Tharp drives inside. Embiid has it knocked away. Foster, yes, drains his first field goal of the game. A 3-pointer.
He made a bunch of those in transition on Saturday against Texas. You must locate him. He's playing with great confidence.
Tharp gets around Nigel Johnson, and actually Nigel called for the foul. Nigel said, I didn't even touch him.
Brent, let me tell you what Bill Self is doing. His half-court offense is not working because there's been good ball pressure. So he's turning Tharp loose and allowing him to make plays in the pick and roll.
Weber's Wildcats with a much tougher defense than in that first game. Here's Embiid into the paint. Stays with it, and the ball won't stay down, and it's 1 and over to the Wildcats. Johnson kicks back to the outside. Foster again, quick for Selden, got by him, but it didn't stay down. What a great first step that was. And the foul is going to be called. Southwell. That's his second. So when we take a look at the team fouls, that is 6 against K-State to 3 for Kansas.
Southwell's been so important. He's gotten better every year. He's versatile. He's one of the veterans.
Southwell obviously not agreeing with that last call.
See, that Green was trying to dribble back out towards midcourt. Southwell didn't need to maintain contact there.
Green inbounds the ball. Selden on the drive, banks it in.
One thing about Selden, he's improved since the Big 12. 3 games of over 20.
Higgins is back up. He'll check in at the next opportunity. A beautiful cut, and Foster's on the free throw line. A backdoor move that time, and it got him a spot on the free throw line.
If you're going to take away the three-point line, you're going to be susceptible to the back cut. And Tharp fell asleep. Tharp did not guard Foster in the first meeting.
Frankham will see his first time. And Higgins returns, so Tharp and Green will sit down. And Holly, that first matchup was dominated by Higgins over in Lawrence, wasn't it?
It was, and Marcus Foster admitted, hey, I really tried to force things too much. He was just 3 of 12, 7 points, and he said Kansas had really scouted me well. Little moves I like to make, like drive into the lane and then spin back. There was a guy waiting for me. He said, I realized that tonight I'll have to score the basketball in different ways, namely moving without the basketball, cutting through the areas of defense, finding open spaces. And guys, he's used his speed to do just that early in this game.
Ellis stays with it, comes back with the right hand. 3-point lead now, and that's 5 for Perry Ellis.
To add to Holly's point, Marcus Foster will drive left about 60% of the time. Kansas forced him right some in that first game.
They've lost it, no foul call. Here comes Higgins, and now he is fouled. No question about that one. Awundu was forced to take the foul. I thought there was one when he made the steal over there and tried to break loose. So we'll take a break right now. The Jayhawks slowly coming back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Verizon. Getting free tablets and phones on the best network. That's powerful. And in part by Toyota. Let's go places. You're watching ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's.
We welcome you to Big Monday, presented by Verizon. It's part of Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's. And the rivalry in the state of Kansas, with Kansas State leading by 3. Higgins on the free throw line. And he cuts into that margin, and a chance to make it a 1-point game coming up. You can see how one-sided it is. And Bill Self and the Jayhawks are looking at a number. 48 of the last 51 games. Of course, I should point out, Self didn't coach the last 51.
No, he didn't. But he's 23-3, Brent. I thought Bruce Weber, the last 2 days of practice, was vehement about his team making this a street fight.
So far, it has been ball pressure. Now, Frank Camp off the Jayhawks bench comes up with a steal on Spradling. And Jayhawks with a chance for the lead on the long ball. How about that? Both ends, Frank Camp, defensively and offensively.
Now, this young man was a high school All-American down the road in Wichita. Been injured lately, but a steal and a big 3.
Boy, big moments off the bench right now for the Jayhawks. So despite playing that well, Kansas State now behind.
Oh, Williams got away with a push.
Nino battling back in, regains the lead.
But you'll love his effort. He has always been at Kansas State one of those guys that plays with energy, undersized.
6 points off the Wildcat bench, friend. On the deck, another foul. Ellis is fouled on the dribble drive. So he'll shoot 1-of-1 now.
This was about the time a year ago when we started seeing the maturity and the growth of Perry Ellis. He carried that into the Big 12 tournament, where he was voted All-Tournament. You see the numbers this year. And you know, by the way, Brent, that Perry Ellis had the city scoring record in Wichita for about a year. It was broken by Connor Frankamp.
Well, Landon Lucas is ready to check in for the Jayhawks. So Bill Self has turned to a very deep bench. And here comes Lucas, who has been very impressive in the minutes. So Tarpley not going to play tonight. You heard that story. Jamar, or I should say Traylor, has been put on the bench for the game. But keep an eye on this young man, number 33.
He redshirted a year ago, so he's been in the program 2 seasons already.
Jayhawk defense is now starting to force the issue. Gipson outside, banks it in.
He'll take it. He's moving well, Brent. He stayed away from those varsity donuts this morning.
Did you notice he didn't come into the shop? He thought we would blow the whistle on him.
No, he went right to class.
I noticed that you and Holly didn't pass any of that.
Oh, we stood guard at the door. No.
Oh, okay. Selden for the Jayhawks. Well, Gipson has lost some weight. He looks a lot trimmer to me.
Without a
Watch him
question.
get up and down the floor. Now here's Lucas, who we talked about. Look at that size underneath. When you take a look at what he's shooting for the season, it's well over 60%. Now he doesn't take a lot of shots, but that just jumped off the stat page at me.
Well, for all the one-and-done guys that Bill Self gets on occasion, it's those guys that develop as really good Jayhawk role players.
Nino misses outside, and it's into Wiggins' hands. Jayhawks with the lead right now. Selden whips it into Lucas, and the foul is going to be called on the catch. That's Nino Williams picking up the personal. He was not going to be able to stop Lucas's size, so Nino forced to pick up his second.
Take a look at this now. Watch the ball pressure. Not as good as it was early. And that allows Lucas to get deep paint position. Young man, his dad played basketball in the Pac-10. Richard Lucas.
That was obviously for Utah and Colorado, John.
You're exactly right. Thank you. Wasn't the Pac-8.
Bradley's out. Gipson in underneath. Did he move too fast, or did Tarek Black? Lane violation.
It's amazing how many teams don't practice free throw block out. You got 4 gray shirts versus 3. Someone's got to get the shooter. You got to double team the best rebounder and play one-on-one on the other side.
Well, we found one part of the game that Lucas needs to work on.
Yes. Well, he's definitely a work in progress, and he is another guy that's gotten in great shape.
Foster around a high screen. Whips it back inside. Well, I'll tell you, when the big fella gets help down low, Omari Lawrence chipping in again, and he has had some good moments underneath here in the early going.
He's a power guard.
Fran Camp misses, knocked away. Selden, loose ball, dive for it out of bounds, and it will belong to the Wildcats. Perry Ellis returns, and I believe Black is going to sit down. Now Tharp returns, and Selden will sit. Leaves Fran Camp out on the floor, along with Lucas, Wiggins, Ellis. Spradling and Gipson are out there. DJ Johnson from St. Louis has returned to the floor for the Wildcats. Omari Lawrence stays out.
Remember,
And here's Foster.
Yeah, early in the game, I thought both coaches would go to their benches because of the fatigue factor.
Now, you said that.
Yeah.
They have.
Big game like this, everybody's pumped up.
Cats turn it over. Shooting for the lead here again. Ellis over the top. Regains the lead for Kansas.
That's his range, Brent. Not really a three-point shooter, but murder in the mid-range. Murder on the drives to the rim.
Wildcats time. Been very impressed here, friend, with the Jayhawk. That's the count that get a timeout call. The Wildcats. I was just going to say I've been very impressed with the Jayhawks defense here with about midway through the first quarter. They turned it up a notch, and we're going to take a break. Well, we welcome everybody back. It's Big Monday. It's presented by Verizon. Part of Rivalry Week, which is presented by Wendy's.
Well, you're exactly right, Brent. That timeout was forced because outstanding Kansas ball pressure. Andrew Wiggins doing a really nice job at denying Marcus Foster the ball.
20 on the shot. Foster with that smooth stroke. Going to get the shooter's bounce. That was as soft as should be. Bounced up and came back through. And Kansas State regains the lead.
Bill Self's not happy that Higgins went underneath the screen. That gave Foster room.
Ellis off the dribble, off the iron, into Johnson's hands. Higgins out on Foster. He gives it up. Gipson off a bump on Ellis. And underneath, Foster is fouled. He's fouled by Higgins.
Well, Marcus Foster, Brent, he was the number 45 ranked shooting guard in the class of 2013. Little better than that.
We welcome you back to Manhattan, Kansas, 26-24. Kansas State with the lead, and reminder that Super Tuesday, Florida will play Tennessee, and then in the Big Ten, it'll be Michigan and Ohio State, a Super Tuesday doubleheader, part of rivalry week. Here, the Wildcats with the inbounds pass. They're shooting 42%, 38% for the Jayhawks. And this foul goes against Kansas. That's against Tharp, and that's number 2. So he has 2. Frank Mason has 2. So both are Bill Self's point guards, and he'll bring the youngster Frankamp in right now. Again, he turned in some very good moments with a defensive play, and then he nailed a 3. There are 3 players with the Wildcats with 2 fouls here in the first half. Foster has it knocked away and out of bounds. Wiggins with that reach is very tough for Foster when Wiggins is tightly on him.
Yeah, no question. That's good scouting report defense as well off the inbounds play. We watched the Kansas team go over K-State's bread and butter plays today. I think you're right. Foster's so much more patient in game number 2. It's letting the game come to him.
Lawrence. Foul goes against Kansas.
By the way, we know this score already, but did you hear Reese Davis talk about that West Virginia score?
Yeah, exactly. I look forward to seeing that. Let me check that. That was a kick ball. Here's Foster, and Wiggins is right there. Doubled with Ellis. Spradling puts it on the deck. Shot clock running down, partially blocked by Ellis. 3 seconds on that shot clock.
Okay, do you have a under 5-second inbounds play under? Let's see what Kansas State runs.
That's where Kansas wants Gipson with the ball. Loose. Knocked out of bounds, and it goes over to the Jayhawks. Spradling the last to touch it.
Another good hustle play, however, by Amari Lawrence. He kept that ball alive. Both teams understanding the importance of this game. For Kansas State, Brent, a chance really to pad that resume.
Our lead has changed hands 10 times already in this game.
They're going to try to go inside in their 2 game.
Selden. And that's Selden again, and that should be number 3 on him. Or is that just 2? Let me check myself here. That's 2.
Take a look, Brent, at what we talked about. Watch how they defend Marcus Foster out of the corner. A lot of help, a lot of blue jerseys. Good job off those screens. And now watch this. Wiggins breaks down a little bit. You don't want to go under the screen because that's going to give Foster the kind of separation he needs to get that 3 off. This young man was the Texas 3A Player of the Year last year, 2,300 points. He got a little bit out of shape during the summer AAU circuit, and a lot of schools backed off of him. Kansas State did not.
It's now a 4-point lead inside of 2 minutes. Over the top, block underneath is doubled, and he'll come to the free throw line. Or will it?
I think it's deflected, but what a good pass by Frankamp to the corner of the board.
Yeah, I thought he was hammered.
Yep.
Green pulls the Jayhawks back to within 2.
Green's made a 3 in 5 of his last 7 games. He's an instant offense kind of guy. Showed you right there.
What great defense Higgins plays. Gibson rattles out. Ellis with good rebounding position. And timeout is called by Bill Self here with 1:11 to go in the first half.
Well, take a look at Does. He's turned pro players, NBA players, into good college guys, into NBA players with that offense.
There's one thing we should point out about this Jayhawk team is I'm watching Joel Embiid, and of course we praised him a lot early in the season. He clearly has not been 100% the last few games. Embiid I'm watching right now over there on the bench. And Higgins off the slashing move that time. So he'll shoot a pair of free throws. And that was on Wonder.
At the very end of the game against West Virginia Saturday, JoJo Embiid tweaked his back. And Bill Self said he was okay. I wonder if that's the issue.
He told me that he was hurt back in the TCU game, okay?
Yep.
And that he really has not been 100% since then. And not moving with the same fluidity that we saw. Battle for the missed free throw. The Jayhawks had it back into Ellis's hands.
Great hustle.
And blocking foul against the Wildcats.
Let me tell you what I love about that shot by Brandon Green. It's a great hustle play by Tarek Black.
Lucas is hurt. I'm just going to check that Black.
Well, it's great hustle right here. Watch Black. We talked about blocking out on the free throws. See, he gets rid of that ball before he hits the floor. But this play by Green is a good one because Kansas understands the 2-for-1, and they'll get a chance to get the last possession.
Substitution is number 33, Landon Lucas.
Remember, he injured a right ankle back against Baylor and missed a couple of games. This seemed to be a little higher, although he's been reaching down at that ankle. Green knocks the free throw down to tie this game.
That was a good possession for Kansas. They got the rebound back, and they'll get the last possession as well. It looks that way.
Foster has been running Wiggins around, and number 22 stays with him. Took the switch to help by Lucas. Lawrence on the drive, and he's on the free throw line for a pair.
How about Amari Lawrence tonight? Plays only 12 minutes a game. The senior transfer from St. John's. He's getting his money's worth.
Speaking of St. John's, you and I watched last night. Big win for Steve Lavin against Creighton.
Yeah.
Does St. John's have a chance to get to the tournament?
They sure do. They played very, very well over the last 2.5 weeks. Lawrence, a 64% shooter, coming up empty on these trips. But I was impressed with that team last night. The athleticism, the scoring.
Deadlocked again. Shot clock is off.
Well, this is usually thought time. Fran Camp, they're going to go high pick and roll for him. And now they've switched it.
And they bring it down to 10. There is your high pick and roll with Ellis popping out. He pops, he'll drive. Could not stuff it down. Green blocked by Johnson at the buzzer. There's the defensive end squatting it back in the quarterback space.
It's been about energy for Kansas State.
Take a look at this, Fran.
Yeah, watch Ellis. He gets all the way to the rim. He's challenged. He just missed the dunk, and then the block at the end. The energy of the Wildcats.
Let's go to Holly with Coach Weber.
Well, Coach Weber, you talked about your team had to play with reckless abandon and hustle. How have they done that so far?
We've been okay. We let offense affect it a little bit. We're still guarding them. They have 29 at halftime. We're in good shape there. We got to make some plays on offense.
Marcus Foster leads your team with 9 points. What's different about him tonight? He seems a little more patient.
Well, he's learned how to play when it comes. They do a good job. They're a good team. They guard. They know where he's coming from. They stick with them. That's what we got to make the next play and make layups, make free throws.
Thanks, Coach.
One thing, Fran, about Weber, his teams always play hard. They did it Southern Illinois, they did it Illinois, and now they're doing the same thing here at Kansas State. Good game unfolding here in Manhattan, and right now, let's go to Reese Davis with the Mazda halftime report. You heard Coach Weber tell Holly as he went into the locker room, he's got to make some plays offensively here in the second half.
Remember now, Owundu and Southwell back in, played very sparingly in the first half with foul trouble.
Southwell drives for a layup. And there's one of the fellas you talked about, and his first field goal to open the second half, and the Wildcats are ahead.
They're going to need more scoring from other people besides Marcus Foster. The reason Kansas has so much trouble throwing the ball inside is because Kansas State does as good a job as anybody in the league at pressuring the post entry from the perimeter.
Tharp will gun the long ball. And it's Southwell. A field goal and now a defensive rebound to open the second half. And a wrap pass inside to Gipson. Embiid, though, with the defensive play. Tharp drives it the other way for the layup. Takes it to the rim.
I think Nadir Tharp got the message from Bill Self. Kansas is at its best when Tharp runs this team and stays aggressive.
Southwell thought about it. Now he kicks it back inside, and they've turned it over.
I like the idea of going into Gipson. He just hasn't completed the plays.
Higgins And that is foul number 3 on Iwundu.
And that was by design. Bill Self went after Iwundu with Wiggins post up. Wiggins has been much better at drawing fouls in the last part of this season.
And immediately Amari Lawrence, who logged big minutes because of the foul bomb, checks in. Spin move by Ellis, and the Jayhawks gain the lead.
Brent, it's hard to make that move unless you're fundamentally sound.
Foster covered up. Long ball is good, and Southwell starts the second half blazing. Selden rattles out. Long rebound, battle for it, and it is Wiggins. Sealed up Spradley.
Because nobody had possession of that ball, it's not over and back.
Ellis with that beautiful spin move that you talked about.
That's a skill, Brent. He's got as good a footwork as anybody you'll see in the Big 12.
Foster drains a 3. Wildcats back ahead.
That was great recognition. He never came off the screen. He stayed behind it.
Dove kicks to Embiid. Embiid being muscled. Gipson stays with it. Left hand. Nice play.
Both ways. Great defense by Gipson not to foul. Good patience by the freshman.
Southwell kicks. Gipson flushes. Southwell a little gimpy coming back.
Yeah.
Brian, did you notice that?
Yes, I did. I don't think Gipson could have jumped that high when he was a freshman.
Embiid again. Turn around, left hand. No. Battle rebound. Stays with it. Loose. Tucked down by Southwell.
Oh, look at Gipson inside.
Battle for the loose ball on the floor. And traveling. Ellis goes down for the loose ball. Traveling is called. Wildcat basketball.
That's the drive and the dish. That's what happens when you stop eating those donuts. And there you see Shane Southwell, as you pointed out, Brent. Let's keep an eye on him.
Johnson checks in. DJ Johnson, the big fellow with that big block at the end of the first half. He's out. He's going to put his big body out there on Embiid. Embiid defensively now, and Southwell blew past it. Ellis with a fine rebound, and here's Tharp. Open floor. They turn it over on the Selden pass. It's out of bounds. A great student body here. The 39% from the floor. Kansas State shooting 41%. But from three-point range, the Jayhawks are only 1 of 10 here tonight.
Well, guess what? Kansas State defends that three-point line as well as anybody in the country. Number 13 in the country.
So Southwell still, remember when he came down the floor that one time, it looked like he was a little gimpy. Coming over there to a screen on the right side. Now he come out high here for Spradley. Foster rises, guns the through. Smooth stroke up over the top.
Oh boy. Country's starting to find out what we knew a few weeks ago. Welcome to America basketball, Marcus Foster.
With 15 right now. Ellis leading the way for the Jayhawks over the top to Embiid, and Spradling picks him clean. Spradling saw the play coming over the top, and he went and defended it. Southwell is now tapped by Ellis and out of bounds. Kansas State basketball. Oh, the look on Weber's face down there. Upset about that.
Bruce Weber's done a terrific job in a year and a half. He replaced a very popular coach in Frank Martin. Got them to a coach championship of the Big 12, and you see Embiid goes out.
And Black checks in.
Another guy who was gimping around earlier, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No trailer tonight. Coach's decision.
A beautiful driving layup by Omari Lawrence. Bill Self needs a timeout. This is the scene at Bramlage Coliseum. Let me take you back to February 14th, 2011. It's the last time Kansas State beat Kansas was right here. Jacob Pullen poured in 38 points, and this crowd of more than 12,000 stormed the floor afterwards. They would love to do it again. Coach Weber has never beaten Kansas as the head coach at Kansas State. Remember, he followed Bill Self as the coach at Illinois in Champaign. Wiggins very quiet offensively. Spradling on him, fronting him. Embiid back off the floor again.
Boy, look at Wiggins. He wants the basketball.
He's got it, and he's got the smaller Spradling. Wants to take him inside. Spradling fouls him. Now, Holly, what about that timeout with Coach Self?
Well, during that last timeout, Bill Self was yelling at everybody. His face was very red, but towards the end of the huddle, he got about 12 inches away from Andrew Wiggins' face. He was yelling at him. You need to show more effort out on the floor. If you don't show effort, you're coming out of this game. Go out there and do something. That's something about Wiggins, that as soon as they come out of that timeout, he at least tries to do what Bill Self was yelling at him to do.
He's still looking for his first field goal. He has scored at the free throw line. 5 points here tonight. But do not overlook his defensive effort, although the youngster is starting to shake and bake, Marcus Foster, for Kansas State.
And Marcus Foster trying to do his best Jacob Pullen impression so far. He's been very poised tonight. Has not forced a lot.
It's a young Jayhawk team facing a big home court crowd here tonight. This one of the loudest crowds in the Big 12, and they do make a difference.
I saw the game in Allen Fieldhouse where Kansas State was intimidated. Tonight at the tip, when Kansas came out, they looked like that young team you're talking about.
Battle. And a foul's going to be called on Johnson. Weber can't believe it. That looked all the world like a held ball in front of me.
The question here is, did Johnson gain an advantage, or was it just two guys hustling right here? Oh, no.
It's a terrible call.
No. You got to let that be a play on.
Absolutely.
This is too good a ball game both ways.
It's a held ball. Anyway, Jayhawks basketball. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Selden's off the side of the glass. Spradling tracks it down. Wildcats the attack. Southwell with that head pass. Inside. Whoa, wrap around. Beautiful. Omari Lawrence again, and finally, Tharp drains the long ball.
That's the guy who has to show up, Brent, and it just doesn't have to be his scoring. He has not imposed his will on this game tonight, Tharp.
Black switched, and Foster comes over the top off the front of the iron. Long rebound winds up in Tharp's hands, and here he comes again. Headman Wiggins. Wiggins underneath. Kisses it in. And one.
You and I have seen so much Kansas basketball this season. We're watching this young man. There's still holes in his game, but his effort level is improving by the game. This is what Bill Self wants to see.
That is the third foul on Johnson. So Johnson will take a seat. And Southwell has not been the same since that little tweak down there, and he's taken a seat. And I'm sure that they will look at him. And he was making plays offensively here for Kansas State. Inside of 10 on the shot, and here comes Lawrence again. He's on the free throw line. Now Foster takes a misstep.
Yep, and on the way
so
back.
He wants out.
Yep. There's a guy on the Kansas bench, Norm Roberts, assistant coach. Not surprised by this effort by Omari Lawrence tonight. He coached him at St. John's.
Well, Kansas State again with more fouls than Kansas. That was the story in the first half. 14 fouls against Kansas State and 1 against the Jayhawks. So what's the injury situation with Kansas State, Holly?
Right now, their athletic trainer, Brandon Yoder, was taking a look at Foster. He's cramping up. So they're trying to get some Gatorade down. Looks like he took some kind of oral medication. They're trying to get him back in. Bruce Weber looked down the bench like, hey, can he get back in? Brandon Yoder said, we're doing all we can right now, coach. Let's see if he can get back in this game.
He's got a TV timeout coming, Brent. That will help.
Down toward 10 seconds. Tharp loses it. Head pass. Johnson rolling. And lays it in. Nigels from Ashburn, Virginia.
Good ball pressure. Really good ball pressure. Ellis had the mismatch, but Gipson camping out in the lane, so they double teamed him.
Over the top, there's Ellis underneath. And Lawrence fouls him hard. Eight-point, and Mason gets it. There's a technical, I believe. Hold on here now. There's a technical. It's going to be.
I think it's both ways.
I think Mason was in the middle of it. I know that.
Yep. It looked like Mason Gipson. If it is, both will be assessed a personal foul.
It was no question it was Mason and Gipson. Double technical. Yeah, it's Gipson and Mason.
Reese Davis with you. Game on ESPNU from the ACC. Maryland and Virginia. Roddy Peters gets it rejected by Justin Anderson. Cavaliers on the run. Joe Harris has hit 4 3-pointers in the game. The Virginia Cavaliers up by 7, Brett.
All right, Reese, and here it is 50-42 with the Wildcats leading favored Kansas. Perry Ellis at the free throw line knocks the first one. And here's the double technical, friend.
Doug Sirmons, the official, was right in the middle of this, so he was staring at it. It's something you might let go maybe if you didn't get a good look at it. He did. Both players get assessed a technical, which also means they pick up the personal.
And that is the for Mason. That's his second.
And luckily for Gipson, that's 1, right?
Yes. Catch and shoot Nino Williams, and Black rebounding for the Jayhawks. Jayhawks are down 6.
You know, you may be right, Brent, about Joel Embiid, because either Bill Self's not happy with him or there's something wrong.
There's no question. He's not healthy. He doesn't look to me to be the same player. Here's Black. Wraps it around. Pretty nice to have him around. And Southwell is now leaving the floor. Remember, he tweaked something. And that's a foot injury.
First time tonight, I think we've seen the 2 point guards for Kansas.
A beautiful blow by Nigel Johnson again, and he's hit 2 big field goals here, where Foster sidelined with what Holly said appeared to be cramps.
The young man played a lot of minutes early for Bruce Weber, and he's regained the confidence of the coaching staff. That's a kick ball. No one saw it.
Dart from behind the back. Nigel on him. Knocked away and out of bounds by Amore Lawrence. 6 on the shot clock as Higgins will come in and Mason will take a seat. And Foster now does report back in. Marcus Foster.
He missed about 3 minutes of game time, but the TV timeout gave him about 6 minutes of actual rest.
He leads the Wildcats with 15. Darts floater. Not there. Battle for the rebound. Out of bounds. It'll be Jayhawk basketball.
Here's what I noticed, Brent. Right now, Kansas State is playing harder than Kansas. Now, that's logical because they're at home. But Kansas will lose this game if they don't pick up their intensity.
They trail it by 6. 9:26. Green misses from the corner. Kansas State basketball.
This young man, Nigel Johnson, played at Riverdale Baptist in the D.C. area. Played for a terrific coach. Scored 55 in a game as a junior.
Embiid going to check back in at the next opportunity here at the 9-minute mark. One dude back on the floor gave it up. Saved by Green. Kansas to Wiggins. Wiggins on the run in, no. And Green is fouled by Williams. He'll shoot a pair, and a Kansas State player is injured at the other end of the floor.
Foster's down, and the fans wanted them to blow the whistle. But because he was in no danger of getting trampled, you had to give Kansas a chance to play on.
Watch the ankle. Watch the right ankle. Did he step on someone here, Fran, as he's coming in?
Well, let's take a look. I know the trainers are going to, right there.
They tweaked it.
The trainers are going to earn their money tonight, both teams, both ways.
Being helped off to the sideline here at the 8:41 mark. Kansas State up by 6. Southwell out. Now Foster is out. So Green with a pair of free throws here for the Jayhawks. Embiid. He replaces Black. Now Selden will replace Green as the Jayhawks are pulled to within 4 here at the 8:41 mark.
Brandon Green gave Bill Self good minutes so far tonight.
And now Foster is walking off toward the locker room. He'll join Southwell.
Well, the good news is he's walking. They may want to just tape him up. See, I think they can go into Gipson if they give it a chance. Let Gipson post Embiid.
Traveling. Kansas basketball, and they can ease to within 2 or 1 with the 3.
Well, Foster left. Here comes Southwell.
And on the throw into Embiid. And Gipson fouled him. So Southwell comes back to the Kansas State bench. Meanwhile, Embiid is going to come to the free throw line here. Johnson, DJ Johnson, with 3 fouls. Now Gipson will sit because he too has 3. So Coach Weber has to juggle injuries and a foul situation. And the Jayhawks look poised here to mount a charge.
This young man, Embiid, was ejected in that first game for the flagrant 2 foul against Nino Williams.
Makes it a 2-point game at the free throw line. Southwell will replace Nino Williams. And Bruce will alter the backcourt a little bit. We'll let Southwell take the ball out of bounds. And bringing it up, Nigel Johnson. Well, both Johnsons are on the floor now for the Wildcats. Spradling, catch and shoot, fires the 3, huge. The senior knocks it down and makes it a 5-point Wildcat lead.
Very quiet tonight, but that was big. Great set play, staggered screen along the baseline.
Higgins, he's fouled. That's the 4th foul on Awandu. Foul number 4, and Lawrence will be forced to return timeout.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Verizon. Getting free tablets and phones on the best network. That's powerful.
Time for Did You See That? Brought to you by Verizon. Kansas State battling injury problems. Southwell on that dime that he dropped. You can see he came back a little bit gimpy. Then Foster, he tweaked an ankle. Southwell has returned, but Foster limped off and he went to the locker room, and coach said he was walking pretty well when he went to that locker room on the side. And the other story, Fran, that you've got is the team fouls this quarter. Kansas State 10 and Kansas 2, and just as you called, here comes Foster.
Yep, he was moving well when he left, and looks like he's ready to go. Superman is in the building. But a lot of foul trouble for Kansas State. Quite frankly, they've played hard enough to foul tonight. I don't think Kansas has played as hard as Kansas State tonight.
Wiggins on that free throw line. And the Wiggins story is he's 1 of 5 from the field, 5 of 11 at the free throw line.
It's interesting because in the Big 12, Brent, he's been up near 80%. This young man is not going to turn 19 years old until 2 Sundays from now. February 23rd, he's played the whole season as an 18-year-old, and people want him to be a superstar.
Southwell and Ellis putting on backcourt pressure, and helping out in that backcourt all the way is Lawrence. And now there's a debate. A foul is going to be called. It's on Wiggins.
Here's what happened. Lawrence stepped out of bounds.
Southwell is really hurt.
Yeah, Oglesby had the out of bounds. But watch Doug Sirmons down the court. There was a little nudge. See, I think he stepped out of bounds first. Yep. I think he stepped out of bounds first. Been a hard game to officiate. They've done a pretty good job overall.
Kansas State leading by 3 with the basketball. Joe kicks and Spradling had Wiggins on him, and with that great size, he did not attempt the 3-ball. Wiggins is on Spradling right now. 4 on the shot. Crowd counts it down. Spradling drives, lays it in. He's a senior, folks, and he has shown it on a couple of plays tonight.
And that was patient because he had the big guy Embiid.
Now Wiggins drives back on him. Ellis snaps it down. Southwell coming away, and a foul is going to be called. And that is his 3rd foul. So Southwell now joins several of his teammates.
Well, you got to credit Andrew Wiggins. I've been, one of the things he's really got to work on is finishing around the rim. But his effort around the rim tonight has been exemplary. I think Bill Self's pep talk has helped this young guy.
Embiid. Now he fouls.
As a coach, I like this kind of officiating because this game is going to the wire, and you gotta call those little cheap, over-the-top fouls. Don't let the game get away.
That is the first foul tonight on Embiid, and now Wiggins jumps into the backcourt. He picks up the foul, and that's his 3rd personal.
So now, if
I'm
you're
not sure that Bill Self agrees with you,
well,
friend.
yeah, but you know what, Brent, I will tell you, right now, if you're a Kansas, I agree, but Kansas players and both teams have got to adjust right now.
Spradling cut off by Wiggins.
Now, with no Foster in there, Wiggins is going to guard the hot hand, Spradling.
So Johnson will keep the dribble. Underhand scoop. And foul on the other side. DJ Johnson was fouled. And it's on Ellis.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nigel Johnson has been outstanding, the freshman. They were playing Javon Thomas, the other freshman, earlier in the conference, but they lost a little confidence in him. They've gone back to Johnson. Terrific.
Well, a reminder that ESPN's Journey to the Tourney continues Wednesday. ACC, Syracuse will take on Pitt at 7 Eastern on ESPN. The Orangemen, the #1 team in the country. His first point of the night. Keeps him up by 5, and now Black is going to replace Embiid. Southwell basically is playing on one good leg, and now they're going to take him out. It's a Nino Williams out. Some gutty minutes by #1 in this game.
If they can.
But the smaller Williams is on Ellis. Tharp will drive, pull up Jay is on the money.
Tell you what happened. Kansas State did such a great job of taking away those post feeds. Tharp went and made a play on his own.
Lawrence on the pick and roll. The big fella rolls, and DJ scores.
And now Lawrence is cramped up, Brent. Amazing.
on a steal. Lawrence comes down. Selden cuts him off, and you can see that he's having trouble with the cramping. Spratling open. No. Goes after the long. Tharp gets there ahead of him. And a great steal by that young man, Nigel Johnson, again.
And they're going to get Lawrence out with that cramp.
Timeout has got it called.
Checking in for K-State, number 2.
And returning now is Marcus Foster. With 5 minutes to go, Marcus Foster returns.
This is like a rerun of MASH.
Now Kansas takes a full timeout. Working away on that cramp problem over there. A lot of emotion, a lot of effort in this rivalry here tonight. So let's take everybody back to 2011. Bramlage Coliseum. Jayhawks had only 2 losses that night, but Jacob Cullen was unconscious. 9 for 17 overall, 5 of 6 from three-point range, 15 of 19 for the foul line. And here comes the crowd. This is since 1990. You can see how the Jayhawks have absolutely dominated this series. But here tonight, Bruce Weber's Wildcats are going toe-to-toe. There's a young man who played big minutes for Coach Martin and Coach Weber.
Yep, Jordan Henriquez in the house tonight. He played big minutes in that last win by the Wildcats.
Wildcats lead it by 5 inside of 5 minutes. Spradling does get it inside, and Johnson able to finish against Black.
Well, Kansas has no presence at the rim tonight without Embiid.
Ellis on the drive, rejected by Johnson. Playing one of his best games yet for the Wildcats. And that's goaltending on Black. Story. Nino Williams with the field goal. Jayhawks are suddenly in trouble.
Bruce Weber told his team at practice Sunday, we are going to play our hearts out. It's the only way that we'll have a chance to win.
Ellis open. Won't fall, but Wiggins skies ball out of bounds. It belongs to the Jayhawks.
Right now, when you look at this Kansas team, you have to ask yourself, who can get you a basket? They're not coming easy in the paint because of the defense inside.
The 9-point lead right now by the Wildcats ties their biggest of this game, and that was back at 13-26. While we have a moment with the officials, but some of the fellas that we would recognize so far for their efforts, and that includes Staten, had a big night in West Virginia, but we like Kane and Edgem, and they were held down in Morgantown. Buddy Hield of Oklahoma we're going to recognize. Andrew Wiggins has not been able to score here tonight. So if you took those 5 that we talked about, that we liked this morning, and you come back to us at midnight, folks, we've got a different 5.
Yeah, because Melvin Edgem was shut down tonight in Morgantown.
You and I would put 1 or 2 Wildcats on the team if this holds up.
Yeah.
Frankamp on the floor.
This league is underrated, even though it's the #1 RPI league in the country. People have missed the boat.
Tharp. Nice pull up.
See it, Brent, there's Chuck Daly used to say, what will the player do when the play breaks down? Because against Kansas State, the play will break down. Tharp got his own right there.
The one duo is out there along with Foster. Nino Williams comes out. DJ Johnson stays in underneath. He's had some big moments here down the stretch for Kansas State. Spradling logged mighty minutes for Coach Weber. Here it is again, DJ Johnson. He might be the most valuable player, folks, because of all the things he's been able to do.
Let me tell you, Bill Snyder would have loved that pinpoint pass by Spradling as well.
He's fronting Ellis down the post. Pull up again by Tharp, staying alive.
Yes.
We say that about the Jayhawks. We're down to 3 minutes now. It's a 7-minute game, and Tharp is keeping them alive.
When they worked on that offense today, they call it one game. It's just spread the court and drive.
Tharp with all 11 of his points here in the second half. Ellis is on DJ Johnson. DJ coming out on that high pick and roll. He's been rolling in. Spradling didn't pick him up. Spradling's going to go, and there's a foul. And it's going to go the other way. He turned that ball over.
He did. He got it caught on his hip.
So we'll take a break. 66-59. In that first victory back on January 11th, Higgins scored 22 for Kansas and Selden had 20. Here tonight in the rematch, Higgins is 1 of 6. He does have 8 free throws for 10, and Selden is 1 of 6 for 2 points. They won that game by 26, 86-60. What a turnaround here tonight, Fran.
What you're saying is they're playing like freshmen tonight.
Tharp guns the long ball off to the side and out of bounds over to Kansas State. 2:24 remaining. A 7-point Kansas State lead. They were a 2-basket underdog coming into this game against the Jayhawks here tonight, despite the fact that they've lost only 1 game in the Bramlage. Spradling will call a timeout. Couldn't get the ball in bounds. And Fran, you pointed out that down in that paint area, effort.
It has, Brent. Think about it now. You don't start a guy over 6'7", and yet they've done a tremendous job of getting to the basket. Now, Embiid's only played 16 minutes, and it's been a soft interior tonight for Kansas. We said it at the very beginning. They looked like freshmen, and for the most part, they've played that way tonight.
So Kansas shooting only 40% here tonight, and remember they averaged 50 for the season. And just some of the little things, Holly Rowe, have made a big difference, haven't they, here tonight?
Well, that's right. Bruce Weber has coached his entire career with what he calls a play hard chart. It tracks deflections, blocks, steals, loose balls, offensive rebounds, and charges. So far in this game, they have 35 of those points accrued. It's the little things that add up to big things that he thought could win this game for them. They played with more energy than Kansas, and it is all those little things culminating in the lead right now.
Nino Williams able to get it across. Drop it off, and DJ, big, there is an effort, rebound underneath. It goes over to the Jayhawks. Frank Camp has got it. Green guns the long ball, short. Battle for the loose ball, out of bounds.
Green pulled the trigger a little quickly. He's in there to score, but he rushed that shot. Bill Self knows how to stretch a ball game out with smart fouls. But Kansas State has got experience in Southwell and Spradling on the floor right now.
DJ Johnson will take a break, very tired. Gipson will come back in. Meanwhile, Southwell also back in for Kansas State. Spradling has had 10 points, 5 assists, and 5 boards. Deflected Frank Camp, but it is picked off that time by Awandu, and he's on the free throw line.
Boy, Awandu, he had a 2-on-2. It might have been more judicious to pull it out, but he attacked the basket.
Southwell will sit down, playing with the gimpy leg, playing on courage here tonight.
Freshman from Houston.
Knocked down now by Awandu. big free throws.
Not many better in a special situation game than Bill Self.
Wiggins attacks, lays it in. Cuts it back to 7 now, 1:45, and here we go.
Now, Bill Self, he's got to figure out right here, does he keep this a possession game, or does he begin his comeback game of trapping and fouling? 7.
There's a great sign. Eat more Jayhawks. There are some great signs over there tonight. Now, just west of Topeka, as you come toward Manhattan, folks, I'm assuming that Kansas State, because you're on the way to Manhattan, they put the sign up on the right. But look at over on the left-hand side, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. But you know what? In this state, we need a third sign. That's right. The Wichita State.
How about that?
The unbeaten team. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. The overpass.
Roy
the
and Story.
overpass.
They know how to run that truck, don't they?
They built an overpass. Great year for basketball
It is, though.
in the Sunflower State.
1:45 remaining now. 7-point lead. Long pass. Nino Williams rolling in on Ellis. Not there. Loose ball. Ellis comes away. Ellis gives it on over to Tharp. Tharp in a hurry. Drives. Couldn't smash Green. Now it's down to 5 at a minute and a half.
And they saved the timeout.
They stole it. And now it's down to 3.
Now they don't have to foul.
Timeout is called. How about that play by Green?
Brandon Green in October, Brent. Bill Self called him one of the worst defenders as a freshman he's ever coached. He can score the ball, but he's given an opportunity tonight to make a huge play. There's the drive and the putback. And then take a look now. Good trap without fouling. And the gift. Good effort. Look at Green. Dad played at Pittsburgh State, right here in this state, even though he grew up in Georgia, Brandon Green.
Fran, you put your finger on it. And the players know that Coach Self can extend this for them, and they just keep coming.
And see, the thing now, if you're Bill Self, you can keep the pressure on, but you do not have to make this a comeback game. It's now a possession game.
Ellis, Wiggins, Green, Frankamp, and Tharp are on the floor defensively for the Jayhawks. Owandu looking for help in the backcourt. Puts it down on Frankamp. Couldn't draw the foul from him. Bringing it down toward 1 minute, up by 3.
Let's see if Foster takes advantage of the potential matchup with Frankamp.
Gipson, who checked in, back on the floor with that high screen for the Wildcats. Foster throws it up. Tap, no. Taken down by Ellis. Tharp kicks back outside Frankamp. Green over to Wiggins, firing for the tie. Air ball. Air ball by Andrew Wiggins.
That's one of those where I think you take it to the rim.
And make it a 1.
And make it a 1. They moved it quickly and they had the look.
Here comes Spradling now. He'll bring it up on Tharp, get it across that timeline, kick it on over to the side. And a foul is called against the Jayhawks. Owandu decided to bring it to the rim. He was thinking about it on that corner over there.
He's not hesitated. Hasn't necessarily played the time and score game here down the stretch, but he got fouled. Came in tonight under 70%.
Two big free throws, 2 big opportunities here to put it on a 2-possession at the 32nd mark. Up by 3 right now, and he misses the first one. And he was a little short of it.
Yes, he was.
Now Lawrence will replace Gipson. smaller Jayhawk team on the floor.
I don't think you necessarily, if he makes this, need to the three.
It's a 4 now at the 30-second mark. You're going to go for the 2. You should go fast.
Absolutely.
And
There it
Tharp
is.
does just that. Fade, yes, makes it a 2, just what you said, and 21.9, and Self is up with the timeout.
You know, when the odds are that the 2 is easier to get than the 3. And then, as I said earlier, Bill Self knows how to stretch the game out.
69-67, and of course, just as soon as we finish, we're going to send it to SportsCenter. Rockets stay hot in the NBA, and LeBron puts on a dunk show for the Heat. And the Tigers talk Michael Sam. That's the Missouri Tigers, of course, with the young man play.
Hey, by the way, you remember last Monday night, right? I hope you don't have the car warming up out there. We may be here for a little while, my friend.
Was it 3 overtimes?
Yeah, I think I recall. It might have been 4.
Anxious moments for the Wildcat fans. They led it basically the entire game. Kansas was up by a field goal at the 18-21 mark of the second half. That was their last lead. Wildcats have been up 9 a couple of times. Now it's 2 at the 21.9. So now, Fran, as the coach, how quickly will Bill Self foul? Will he be selected? Will he take a look at personnel, or will he go right now?
Well, he's going to go personnel, but this is not a great foul shooting team, Kansas State. Sprattling over 70. Williams, let's see if Williams is in. Nino Williams over 70. What you want to do here, Brent, set up your full court pressure, trap right away, try to poke it free, and then foul right away. Spradling's taking it out, so he's likely not to be the guy that's going to be fouled.
Foster might try to come back and get it, and he cannot.
Oh, I foul him right now.
And Frank Camp lets him go. And now the foul, just what you said, he could have saved a couple of seconds if he had fouled Owandu right away.
Owandu, as we said, under 70 coming in, a freshman.
But he is 3 of 4 tonight.
He is.
That is one thing to remember.
I'm going to go with the odds. I don't know about you. I'd play the odds.
Me? Odds?
Especially in this situation.
Here he comes, sitting on a 2 right now. And he missed. And here come the Jayhawks.
It's going to be spread out and drive it. Who will be the guy taking it to the rim?
Higgins on a wraparound. No. Put back, yes. Stayed with it. Deadlock. 6 seconds to go. Spradling dribbles down the floor. Kick. Foster juggles it. Wiggins at the buzzer. And we, I believe, are headed for overtime again. What great second effort down here off of the miss.
You know what, Brent? What impresses me about Wiggins is that he's playing his heart out over recent games. They put the offense in their back pocket. They spread the floor to their one game, and Wiggins was the guy that Bill Self set this up for.
That is great athleticism.
Yep.
Coming back out. Now watch him have to miss recover, get back, and tap it in to tie this game. What a tremendous play by the freshman from Canada.
And how about the D at the end, the challenge?
So we go to the 5-minute overtime. Big Monday again.
I'll tell you what, we've said it a couple times tonight, but this game is so good. We haven't emphasized how good the Big 12 has been this season. I cannot believe Oklahoma dropped out of the rankings today. It blows my mind. They split with Iowa State. They beat Texas at Texas. This league is better than people think.
History is on the Jayhawks side. And for the Jayhawks, this is their first overtime game of the season. And it comes against the in-state rival. They have beaten Kansas State 6 straight times. Coach Weber has not beaten Kansas since he's become the head coach at K-State. Lost to them last year 3 times and once earlier this year.
Holly Rowe just reported that Shane Southwell is a no-go for overtime with a left foot injury.
Gipson and Black. And the Jayhawks with the first possession.
What you do now is you go back to your dance what would run you all season, and that is go inside.
Higgins will kick back Tharp. Long ball. Battle for the rebound in underneath, and it goes to Kansas.
Effort by Ellis.
Load Black underneath, and the Jayhawks lead it.
They went back to their bread and butter to start overtime, and they pounded it inside. How do you get Marcus Foster open now if you're Bruce Weber?
He gets a screen from Gipson. Now he drives, kicks back outside. Spradlin, long ball, puts him ahead. 3 of 5 from three-point range, 72-71. Ellis stays with it. Ball was knocked out of bounds, I believe, by Kansas State.
I think it went off Gipson, and keep in mind, Brent, you can only review an out-of-bounds call when there's 2 opponents involved in the last 2 minutes of each overtime.
Tharp will inbounds. Higgins tracks it down. Ellis on the drive, spins right, and he is fouled. Nino Williams fouled him as he turned.
I got to tell you, if you're a young player at home, you're watching Perry Ellis, you have to work on that spin move, the pivot without traveling. He's done that a number of times tonight. He's perfected that move. What do they call a guy like him, Brent? He's a technician. He knows his craft. You see his mom?
Ties the game, then puts him ahead, 73-72. 3:34 to go.
Well, what a great dish by Foster on that last set play.
Foster comes loose, but Higgins with him. Off the dribble, comes inside and one. Terrific move. These kids have played their hearts out here tonight.
Great coaching right here. They set up Foster now on the baseline. That's 2 times in a row he's made a big play.
17 points for the game. Now make it 18.
His high school coach told me the best thing Foster loved when he first got here, a 24-hour key to the gym.
Ellis attacks and he's fouled. And that could be it for number 11. That is his 5th foul. So Nino Williams picks up 2 fouls here in overtime.
I'm watching Southwell, Brent, down at that bench. He's trying to get into the game, but they're not going to go with him. Got 30 seconds here to figure it out.
So Lawrence reports in off the K-State bench. Kansas has made hay at the free throw line.
Watch straddling off that baseline.
From the corner, he was thinking about it, but Tharp was right there. Higgins stays on Foster. Wandu comes in and a clean block out of bounds. Kansas State basketball with 13 on that shot. They're up by 1.
We're going to come back a year from now and absolutely love Wandu. Athletic, plays hard.
K-State, one of those teams with great upside.
No question. Well, the whole league. 7 or 8 teams with tremendous young players.
Crowd counts the shot clock down, and they come inside 5 now. And he was fouled as he put it down.
That's a bad break for Kansas, and Barry Ellis is looking at that shot clock. Only 3.
That's 4 fouls now on Ellis. It looks like we've got another perhaps cramp situation over here.
Remember, if he has to come out, the coach of the opposing team will decide which of the 4 players. That's what's happening right now. When a player is injured in this situation, the coach of the other team must decide which of the 4 guys on the court will shoot the free throws.
So he wants to check with the officials.
That's cramp.
To shoot 2 for the Metro Lions, number 25, Wandu.
So Wandu is selected by Bill Self. Bad choice.
He played the odds.
Yes,
No, it doesn't always work.
It's the second one, though.
I'll take those. I'll take
Indeed, 50%.
Yep.
And a chance to tie now with a 2-point field goal at the 2:30 mark. You bet.
It's been Ellis isolating at the elbow.
Off Green, out of bounds, they turn it over. Just slipped away from the youngster.
Yourself just gave him a little clap and said, relax. These are the most meaningful minutes Brandon Green's played in a long time.
Spradling will bring it up. Game clock winds down inside of 2 here, and the shot clock inside 10. They take it inside on the drive. An offensive rebound is good, and a putback. And there is DJ Johnson again, rested and doing some dirty work inside. Makes it a 4. He's got 9 tonight and some big rebounds.
Career high is 12, but those 9 are the biggest he's ever had.
Higgins is stripped, loose ball, foul called. It's going to be on Johnson. And that's his 4th, I believe, on DJ.
Take a look right here. Boy, Andrew Higgins continues to attack the basket. Or was that Ellis?
So Ellis will come to the free throw line. Jayhawks down by 4. Camp replaces Green.
You know what I like about that substitution? He didn't take Brandon. Self did not take Brandon Green out after the mistake. He let him play a possession.
Missed the second free throw. Battle rebound. Ellis goes for it. Still battling, and DJ Johnson comes away with it.
Now the clock becomes Kansas State's friend. Nothing but a layup until you chew up some shot clock.
wind it down toward 1 minute. In the lane, knock it down. So we are back in our first overtime, and Kansas State has built a 5-point lead, 80-75 over a team that has dominated them over the last few decades. And inside here, Fran, has been the K-State story.
Yeah, they sure has. We've talked about it all night long. Kansas State has taken the ball to the basket. Really been efficient. Embiid hadn't played very much, not a factor in this game. The door is open for the Wildcats to attack the interior, and they've done a very good job.
There are the scoring leaders for the Wildcats. Marcus Foster was stopped for a time because of an injury.
I don't think
DJ Johnson's 9 points have just been so big.
You called it in the first half, and he's continued. It's a young guy from St. Louis. He really looks like a defensive end.
The other thing to note here is that the Iron Man for the Jayhawks has been Perry Ellis. All 40 minutes of regulation and every second here of the overtime, but he's still out there.
Well, you're back in the same situation as you see the scoring. If you're Kansas, you do not need a contested 3. Get the sure 2 or the wide open 3. Well, Foster kept it from Tharp. Now he gets it back.
Frankamp pops out, and Tharp almost threw it over his head.
I'm surprised they set the 3 up for him.
Spradlin stayed with it. Now Wiggins attacks, rolls it in, and it is back to 3 now. Deja vu all over again.
Absolutely. Now they're going to get a good trap here. Wonder if they'll foul.
Wandu got it back to Spradlin, and Spradlin able to bring it up.
Bill Self wants to foul.
Spradlin's got it over on the side, and Gipson is fouled.
Now, if that's on Ellis, is that on Ellis?
That's number 5.
See, and Black and Ellis are talking right there. Black's got him. They need to know that Ellis has foul 4 in that situation.
The stat sheet has Perry Ellis with 4. Lawrence checks in for Kansas State. So Green will check in to replace Ellis.
Checking in for K-State number 12, Lawrence.
So the Iron Man for the Jayhawks here tonight fouls out with 35 seconds remaining. Green has replaced him. Brandon Green. Gipson at the free throw line. This is his first free throw of the night. He has 8 points. They now make it 9.
That's
huge free throw.
Yep, sure
huge.
is. This kid's a good story. Came here overweight, under-recruited. Nobody else in the Big 12 recruited him. Become the leader of this team. Still don't need a 3, Brent. You get the quick 2. There's a 2.
Black's got the 2. With 23 seconds remaining.
You'll never catch Kansas not prepared in these situations.
Timeout is called by Coach Weber, and K-State with 23 seconds remaining and a 2-point lead. incredible 10-1 run by the Jayhawks at the end of regulation. Green flushing that one. And that forced the game into overtime. Green off the steal. It was Tharp. And in case you missed it, watch Higgins go for the tie, miss the shot, come back and follow his own miss. Watch this. A brilliant run by the Jayhawks, Fran.
Sure was. Now they're, as you said, right back in the same situation. You're going to have to trap quickly with the intent of stealing and then foul immediately. You'd like to keep it out of Spradling and Gibson's hands because they're veterans.
And Bill Self, out of timeouts, had to remind them of the situation now. If there's a missed free throw at the other end, sitting on a 3, or what to do in circumstances here with 23.4 remaining.
Here comes Foster. They're going to try to get it to him.
And they do, and Foster is fouled by Higgins. So here comes Foster up to the free throw line. The young man is 5 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line here tonight. 4 of his 5 field goals have been threes, so he has 18 points. And here he comes.
What do you think of his poise tonight?
Very, very good. First time I've had a chance to see him in person.
Yeah. Just lets the game come to him.
And, you know, he fought off that injury, went to the locker room, came back. Here he is. Big free throws. 21 seconds. I'm impressed.
Yep. If this game gets to 4 here, you can still get the quick 2 if that's what you choose to do. Kansas has a play that they call chop, where there's about 8 options that can get the 3 ball.
And he does just that. Put it on the floor at 21 seconds. 20 points here tonight.
Here it comes. Here comes a chop play.
Reminding Lawrence. Tharp. Black got loose. Fire outside. And there is Black is blocked. Down on the inside of Wandu. What a brilliant block. Higgins forced a foul.
Black thought he had clear sailing. And the freshman Wandu foul trouble early. Came out of nowhere. Take a look. They thought they were going to get to 2, but Wandu stymied the attempt.
Southwell was unable to play because of that foot injury. He enjoyed it. It has been a tremendous effort here tonight by Kansas State. I can't say enough about what they put forth. Injuries, foul problems, and of course in that great comeback by the Jayhawks to send this game into overtime. They've won the last 6 games. The crowd here at Bramlage poised. See if they take the court again. They did the last time they upset the Jayhawks, and there they are.
Well,
at the starting line.
Yeah, we all need to be careful right now.
I'll protect you.
I got you. I got your back. We just go right underneath here, okay?
Spradling with a 14-point night. He's been one of the Warriors for Coach Weber.
You know, he's like a 10-year NBA veteran. Started almost 100 games. Getting married after he graduates.
Now you need the 3 ball.
Yes, sir.
They've got Camp. They've got Mason. They've got Tharp. And Mason instead is going to take it in. Tap. No. Battle. Knocked away. So Camp hits the 3 at the buzzer. Kansas State upsets the Jayhawks. And the student body takes the court. Some of the players are climbing up on the scoring table right in front of us. We've got 3 of them up on top. Holly Rowe has joined them up there. It's like a team platform. Let's hope that table doesn't collapse. Holly, take it away, Holly. Good luck, dear.
Thomas, it's been so difficult to beat Kansas. How did you do it in overtime tonight?
We just came out and played hard, and we always talk about defense, and that's what we did. We competed for 40 minutes, and this is what happens.
It was actually longer than 40 minutes. How stressful was that in overtime?
No matter how
close it out.
No matter how long it was, we competed, and we played like men, and these fans appreciate it.
The table's wobbling, but I want to ask you one more question. Your seniors, Will Spradling, and your freshman, Marcus Foster, how did everybody come up big?
Everybody came up big. Will made the free throws. Marcus made good shots, and everybody played well. It was a team effort.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm out. So you need help?
I'm good. You go.
Now that is great hustle by Holly Rowe. And Gipson offering her help. There's some of the folks up on the table. What a job by Holly.
Wow.
Climbing up with the players, huh? Wow. Let's send it away right now, and then we'll regroup here in Manhattan. But let's send it to the gang at SportsCenter. But what a great scene we had here tonight, and an upset by the Wildcats.